What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. All right, Josh. So today, pretty good day. Not too bad of a day. I don't feel a lot of insider news, a lot of gossip, a lot of updates on the movies that we are particularly looking at. Not going to be Marvel or DC heavy. There was still a little bit of conversations around those topics, but it's not going to be as heavy as other episodes usually deem it to be because Marvel, well, it's in limbo, and we know DC's is it's
DC has lanterns right now, so
yeah, it has lanterns. It's doing something right.
right.
All
I
right, all
guess,
right, all
man.
right. So a couple of updates before we start rocking and rolling with these movie news. Josh, first things first, Paramount. All right, they are not tapping out of this just yet. All right, obviously we've talked about this, and I believe it's by October they're gonna need to start paying um, Warner Brothers about what is it like $7 billion every single day until the deal is basically shut and closed. But the state said, "Hey, we are opposed to this whole Paramount and Warner Brothers merger," which that's another crazy thing. I think Hollywood's kind of splitting up into this thing where it's like pro WBD Paramount merger or like not on that side. They're against it. You have the two aisles, which is kind of getting it's a little weird for me because I'm just like,
Yeah.
hey, like, why are we fighting? Cinemark seems to be putting their line in the sand. They're a team that is basically, they're the movie theater team that are supporting this whole Paramount merger. After Ellison basically put out a note saying, hey, we promise to be putting out 30 movies a year. So that's basically, they're getting back up from some of the movie theaters, so that's pretty good. But at least, Josh, what do we think about Paramount basically floating the bill to the states now and basically telling them, hey, you guys need to pitch in on this whole. If you guys have a problem with our merger that doesn't have anything legally, but possibly that this is basically what they're saying in their little letter is that basically it's a your guys' problem. You guys think it's a legal problem, but it's not. It's a more personal problem and a personal preference on where you guys think, which we kind of dug into that a little bit. Obviously, Ellison is, been on this side of like restructuring CNN and blah, 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 blah. A lot of people are thinking that he's doing some back dealings with Donald Trump. So that's kind of interesting. But Josh, they're asking for the states to help pay for this little like limbo time, the $7 billion ticket every single day until this deal closes. I mean, does Paramount have a little bit of a right to ask for some of this?
I don't think so. It sounds kind of delusional. I mean, they're the ones that don't want you to go through with it. Why would they help you post that out when they're probably gonna be like no in the first place and just pay them out? I think that's the thing. I think that's kind of what everyone's kind of hoping for. That they lose the deal, they end up paying them out, and that's it. But I think that's delusional. I'm not gonna lie. You're like, I know they're the ones holding them up, and it's kind of their fault. But the states aren't gonna do anything. They're gonna be like, well, you're the one that
Yeah,
wanted it, bro. We told you
it's
to wait.
it
This is
is
your
Paramount's
contingency.
deal. Paramount's deal. It is there. They did put in that clause themselves. Hey, we'll pay you this much until the deal closes. Now they're asking for the states to kind of help out in their deal when the states are actively trying to stop their deal from happening. You know, that's one of those, it's a tough play, Cotton. We'll have to see if it works out for them. I don't know if that's really, you don't ask the people that are trying to snuff out your light basically to basically keep your flame afloat. That's not,
Right.
I don't think they're going to want to do that. Legally, can that happen though? Well, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of loophole where they can figure that out if, there's no legal issue that is happening. You know what I mean? That's one of the big things is that is this merger legal? Probably. It sounded like it was already going through the hurdles. The only people that are opposing it are the states, the WGA, and all that stuff. So I don't know. But they are stuck. They are on hold. They are going to have to pay this money when October rolls around. Um, I don't think the states are going to help. I'm sorry. I don't know. But at least
Yeah.
Cinemark is behind them, right?
Right. The movie theaters are behind them, which is, I mean, people already say is a dying industry, so they can't go searching for money from these theaters either. But yeah, no, this is delusional. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of
Mm,
delusional.
okay, all right. Well, like I said, a lot of lines are being drawn in the sand when it comes down to this merger. Will this go through? I'm not sure, but it is kind of interesting that Paramount is kind of, looking at the ops and being like, hey, you actually have to pay this ticket too. It's like, I don't know if they have to, Paramount. We'll have to wait and see with that one. But another producer basically drawing his line in the sand is Jerry Bruckheimer himself, basically saying, "Hey, I am for the Paramount and WBD deal, which is great." I think me and Josh are basically on this side of kind of closing it out. I mean, I know Josh was a Netflixer at one
No, I
at one time,
wasn't.
right?
No, I wasn't. I knew that they'd be shit from the jump. I was just weighing
Okay,
the options of
my bad.
what could it look like. And
No,
now
you're
that
right.
we know Netflix was never gonna do fucking
Mhm.
those movies, that was the problem. We knew my problem was Netflix not wanting to do the movies, and my problem with Paramount is they're backed by people I'm not so politically inclined with, I guess, and so that's kind of how I felt about it at first. So the fact that Netflix lost was a win, but now Paramount is whining. Paramount is kind of looking insane right now too, begging for
Yeah.
money.
Well, they needed the money. That's why they basically went for the merger. So, and who would have known all this would have been happening, right? I bet you Netflix is kind of laughing right now. But
Shouldn't
yeah,
they have known that? I mean, they got to pay analysts or something. They thought it was gonna be a cakewalk.
n- it's not so much. But we'll have to wait and see. But with Jerry Bruckheimer, back when D23 was happening a couple of days ago, he did have a few things to say, and that was obviously that he was for WBD and Paramount merging together. He is pro them staying in Hollywood as well. They're hoping that Paramount does not up and leave because these states are saying, "Hey, we're gonna sue you for everything you got," and basically ruin them in the process of trying to build and actually create this merger and make it happen basically.
Right.
But Jerry Bruckheimer basically came out and put himself on one side, and then on top of that gave us a little bit more for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. So good luck to him, and hopefully this whole Paramount thing does go through and make some of these people happy. It does look like Mark Ruffalo is kind of losing his mind on Twitter about all this as well. So that's another thing. I don't want to go into all that one because I do think that he touches on a few things that is kind of, um, in my opinion, is cancelable. But I don't know where he stands with all that stuff, and I don't even know if canceling is like a thing anymore. So that's something else for a different day when I
Yeah.
figure out all that stuff. But if you want to see his post, it's still on Twitter. Go check that out. Jerry Bruckheimer did give us an update, and a lot of the solid sources or a lot of the sources that we basically were talking about were pretty solid. So Margot Robbie is in talks, and Johnny Depp is also in talks of being this new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And it sounds like they're going to the Pirates of the Caribbean one route where they're gonna focus on Margot Robbie and her new character, basically what she's going to be bringing to the table for Pirate 6. And Johnny Depp is going to be, uh, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow, but, obviously a main star, but not the main person. Like we've basically seen him in what episodes 4 and 5, or
Right. The last ones, basically.
the last couple too. At least with the first three, it was basically obviously, wasn't Will Turner, the girl, and then obviously you had Jack Sparrow in the background basically doing his stuff. He kind of made himself to the forefront in the second and third one a little bit more, but for the most part, it was an equal roundabout until maybe 4 and 5, and that was basically all on him. We're going back to that route though. And how we feel about that? Margot Robbie basically coming in and they're merging the ideas of what we basically talked about back in the day, way few episodes ago, about this basically happening, where they have the Margot Robbie movie, and they had this other one where they had Jack Sparrow basically coming back, and we're basically, we weren't sure which route to go. Them merging that idea though, and kind of giving us that. How do we feel?
I think that's gonna be fucking great. I think as long as we get anything from Pirates of the Caribbean at this point, that I'm okay with. That I'm okay with. I know a lot of people are like, "What? He's not the main character," and I go, "Well, I mean, in the first three, he technically wasn't the main character either. We liked him
Yeah.
for his hijinks and what he got up to, but he wasn't a main character like that."
I mean, he was in the second and third one. The first one, I wouldn't say he.
The main character, I wouldn't. Isn't that not Will Turner and um,
Elizabeth Swan.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like they are the main characters in the first one, 100%. More than likely in the first one, like they are 100% like the first ones, and then it is Johnny Depp in the background. But I do think in the second one, though they are there, Johnny Depp kind of makes his way to like the same height as them, and then by the third one, it's all of them. So
right,
yeah, I mean, I
maybe.
think there is a case to be made what you're saying as well. So I am on your side, but I do kind of I want to say that there's an argument to be made that he kind of was stealing the show by maybe like the second to third one
Yeah, and Margot Robbie seems to be a ticket that's in demand. All of a sudden,
for
she
some
she
reason.
won't do Barbie 2, and
Nope,
she doesn't. It doesn't sound like she's doing anything else right now. So
she won't do Barbie 2 for less than 50, but she'll do a Pirate 6. So I wonder how much they're gonna pay her for that.
right, I mean it's Disney, so they should be shelling out pretty hard. I think.
Oh, I guess you're I guess you're probably right.
And they gonna pay out Johnny Depp
They're gonna pay him his alpacas.
his alpacas.
I better see a picture with Johnny Depp and his alpacas
I know
in
he's
front
gonna
of Disney's lot.
just confirming his role in Pirate 6. That'd be great.
Right. Pirate 6 is underway, and he's just like, there's a photo underneath that with just him and his alpacas. That's cool. That'd be like
Right.
hella meta. And then maybe like if you scroll down a little bit, you just see a pillow with poop on it or something. I
That's
don't
crazy.
know. Yeah, I don't know.
Leave her alone, bro. Leave her alone. Don't talk about her. She's
My
she's
bad.
in Italy right now.
Can we
Leave
talk
her alone.
about the fact that Margot Robbie is basically like she's down for Pirate 6, but she's not down for Barbie 2 for anything less than 50?
I mean,
Is that
we've
not
talked about
is
that,
that I
bro.
mean, yeah, but isn't that like insane to think
It
like
is
she
insane.
would be on board for a Pirate 6, but she ain't down for a Barbie 2 for less than 50?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
I don't
have beef
know.
with Margot Robbie.
I
She
don't
thinks
know.
she hot shit, but I don't believe in her.
Right. We know you don't. But I'm just trying to figure out where her brain is, because that doesn't make much sense. Regardless, you're
Mhm.
coming in at what could be the tail end of a franchise when you had it all in the first one, in the first place. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess as long as we get Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow back, I don't really care.
Again, because it wasn't her. It was the Barbie name.
No, it
She's
wasn't.
not a box
Leave
office
her
draw.
alone.
We're gonna have to
Leave
go
her alone.
back to 2023
Leave her alone.
and
Leave her
rehash
alone.
the shit again. I
Leave
can't
her,
believe
leave
it.
her alone.
But it's interesting to see. It's good to know that we're getting that kind of that mixture. I'm kind of excited to see a little bit of that as well. Especially like I said, we've been kind of starving for this kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean like content. We've been waiting for like some kind of sign that Johnny Depp was at least interested in returning, obviously, because there was like after what he went through and him being canned, if he would have never came back, I would have understood. I would have totally understood. But at the same time, I'm not one to be like, don't go back, don't go back. Even if they throw this huge bag at you or whatever, blah blah blah. Johnny Depp's like, it's easy for you to say. I'm gonna fucking go back for that bag, but and he did, and that's okay. I do think that if somebody did you dirty, if they're willing to pay you out and give you that money and bring you back, perfect. You know what I mean? That'd be a lot better. And having somebody like Margot Robbie on your side. I don't know how big of a draw that's going to help out the film, but
Yeah.
another star power, I guess, to help you out, right?
Right.
Maybe Johnny Depp's helping her. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a big if.
I mean, Margot Robbie hasn't been in those big old scandals, but we got to be honest. You're watching a movie with Margot Robbie before Johnny Depp. Or you're
No.
watching a Johnny Depp movie before Margot Robbie movie.
Johnny Depp.
All right, there you go. Let us know what you guys think. Johnny Depp possibly returning for a Pirate 6. I am excited. Josh is excited. The only way that this could be perfect is if like, Elizabeth Swan returns, Will Turner,
I mean,
Hopefully Will Turner, we need him. Orlando Bloom, we need him back.
right. What's taking them so long? Where is that? Where are they at? Where are they at?
I kind of like, I will say that has to be like one of the main draws for me, before we move on. I do think that Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp's basically like their back and forth is what made
Yeah.
the first three movies, in my opinion. So I really hope they come back. I need them to come back as well. Especially off that cliffhanger. Pirates 5? Come on, man. Davy Jones possibly coming back? Dude. No? Nothing? No?
It
All
could be
right.
cool. Could be cool. It just depends because I don't want to see that story with Margot Robbie. I want my characters back. Yeah.
That kind of be like the way to go. Unless
Yeah.
we can integrate her into that. Let's morph another movie into that bit. Let us know what you guys think, though. Johnny Depp returning, possibly, with Margot Robbie. Pirate 6. I would have never thought we would have made it to a Pirate 6, but I'm happy we're here. And hopefully Johnny Depp gets to retire on his own and not because he gets kicked out.
We won't have to wait and see about that one.
All right, let us know what you guys think. Moving on, Josh. It's official. Dave Bautista is our new Kratos. He is going to start filming pretty soon. Obviously, we went from Ryan Hurst. We saw his little goodbye picture. We waited to see here what the answer was going to be. We didn't know if Dave Bautista was going to actually get the role, but he was in talks, and apparently heavy talks to the point where now we are getting what I would, in my opinion, wholeheartedly believe is going to be a better looking Kratos at the end of the day. I
Let's hope.
I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like an improvement. This has to be.
It could be. We don't know. We just gonna have to wait and see if it all shakes up the way it's supposed to.
Whoa.
What, bro? I told you last time.
What
we
are you
talked
what are
about
you being a
this.
doubter or what? You being a
No,
doubter
I
of
just
Dave
told
Bautista?
you. No, I just told you that. Like last time we talked about this, he's an older guy. I don't know if he could put on the muscle like that, but we're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to wait.
You don't think Dave Bautista can put on some muscle, bro?
Not after what he was talking about, and you know how old he is,
That's
dude.
light work.
You know how
That's light
old he
work.
is now, bro. It's gonna be hard for him.
He wouldn't audition for Kratos if he couldn't put the weight on, bro. He wouldn't have done it. There's no
I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to wait and see because as much as I like this news, I think it's cool. I don't know. You gotta have questions.
You're being skeptical?
Yeah.
Is it because it's not Christopher Judge? You're not
No.
gonna stop or sleep until it's
Christopher
Christopher
Judge
Judge?
is also like 60 years old. I don't believe he should be doing that. If he can keep going and play him as in the games, that's fine. That's not a big deal to me. I'm just talking about in live action.
Oh, okay. Josh wanted to be Kratos. He feels robbed right now.
Right.
He feels,
Yep.
he feels like Bautista
Just gotta-
should have not been it. It should have been him. This
Just
whole
got to
time.
hit him with the boy. You know,
Yeah,
like-
I've never felt Josh's jealousy till today, and I
Yeah.
understand why he didn't want him for this
because
role.
it should have been me. Yep.
It should have. I'm so upset. It should have been me. I do think that this is. I do think you bring up some good points. I do. You're kind of. You're raining on my parade, right? You're yucking up my yum, and I don't appreciate it. All right, don't yuck up my yum. All right, appreciate that. Good. The only thing I could say is that Hollywood doctors are the best. He'll get the weight.
All right, man. All right.
He'll get the muscle.
I guess if he's cheating, yeah.
Of course, steroids,
Of
and they're
course.
legal now. Yeah.
That doesn't make him okay.
What do you mean?
That
They're
doesn't make it
legal now.
okay just because it's
Are they-
legal.
What do you mean? Legally, it's okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay.
What do you mean?
If I'm legally allowed to hit people, does that make it okay? No.
Is it legal?
If I hit them, yeah. But
Yeah, let me tell you something. Illegal to slap somebody in the street. Okay, you can't
Okay.
just walk up and slap them in the street.
yes.
Somebody walks up into your home, legal to slap them in the face. Legal, right?
Okay.
Circumstances.
All right, man. All right.
I feel like I just made a good point right now. Dave Bautista is a point.
Okay. You maybe.
Yeah.
Still gonna be
Let
hard to
us
sell me
know-
on the train.
Look. I think you're dampering you're putting a little damper on the parade for no reason, bro. I think this is good casting. I think, like I said, he's gonna be able to put the weight on. We've seen him at his most muscular. Obviously, he had that Drax body, but just imagine him with, a little bit more older, right? Obviously, he is older. He's able to, have that little thinness to it on top of that, build up that muscle. Dude, he's gonna do great. He's gonna do great. I feel like
Let's
he's
hope.
just gonna have like a different like aura to him compared to Ryan.
Yeah.
Even though that picture that he did post all late as fuck was kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. But we needed that
Late as shit though.
forever.
Late as shit. Like
Yeah,
what the
we
fuck?
needed that in the beginning, not right at the end. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. It is what it is. But let us know what you guys think. Dave Bautista is officially set for Kratos. I was kind of skeptical that this was going to go through. Exactly what Josh was saying. Who knows if he was going to be able to physically get it there? What if at the last second he says, "You know what? I don't actually think I could do something like that," but he could do it. He's down. He signed the paper. We're going to be getting Dave Bautista. Let us know what you guys think. Moving on though, Josh, Vin Diesel is apparently I don't know if this is for realsies this time. This might be for realsies this time. Fast Forever should start shooting in December, according to Vin Diesel. He has the script. It made him cry. The script made him cry. It made him worthy. It made him feel worthy of the Fast X franchise to continue on. He's December. It's gonna happen, Josh. Are we excited to finally get the cameras rolling on the finale of the Fast and the Furious, basically the universe? Like, are we ready for
Right.
that shit?
Right. Absolutely. I think it's been too long. I know you weren't a fan of 10, but I'm just more excited to see where this goes. Vin Diesel, still doesn't look totally in great shape, so we're never getting that Riddick movie ever. But other than that, man, I can't complain about this. I am waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
I know this is from the 25th anniversary for Fast and the Furious. Sucks that Paul Walker couldn't be there.
Yeah,
R.I.P. to him.
unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah, I seen Vin Diesel washed up there like a beluga whale, and I was like, Jesus Christ, we're not getting that Riddick movie, dude. We're never
Yeah.
getting that Riddick movie. I am so mad that he cannot just put a couple cheeseburgers down and just give us Riddick. But he's so fascinated to give us this amazing ending to the Fast and Furious franchise. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, we had that with Furious 7. You're beating a dead horse.
Right.
You're dragging it by its legs. Okay, you're like it's the girl from Hereditary after she hits the pole.
Yeah.
All right? Like, what the hell? Like, you're in the back seat. They think you're alive. You're not. Okay? What's happening here? Josh, speak to me, man. What are we doing with this whole look?
Look.
I would have said it's better off if we would have heard it's canceled.
Well, yeah, because you're a hater.
What?
Look, bro.
You saw Jason Momoa as Lobo, okay? You do not want to see him in a
We
part
just
2.
gotta wait, bro. We just gotta wait. It could be good. It could be good. We could be getting Paul
Feel
Walker,
like I'm
whatever.
crazy, man. I'm not crazy. All right? And Vin Diesel lying about what about what the fuck he was recording the other day, and it was just a fucking Super Bowl commercial or the soccer commercial.
Okay, yeah, that was
whatever the
dumb.
hell.
That was dumb.
That's weird. That's weird behavior.
Right.
You saying that we're gonna be getting a Riddick, but you still look like you put the body of the elephant on, bro, on this picture, bro.
That's
Like,
crazy.
I don't know what the hell you do. Like, what? Like, he's lying to us. He's making his kids sleep in Rock'em Sock'em Robots, dude. This guy, he needs to go to jail. Okay, at this point,
You're
Vin
dumb.
Diesel lost his mind.
You're dumb.
I am at this point where I think Paul Walker was keeping him sane. All right, he was the yin to his yang, kept him, feet on the floor. And Vin Diesel has just, ever since he's been gone, Vin Diesel just shot up. Dude.
He's kind
He's
of
up
going
there.
out of control. You're right, but he you can't hate him too much. He's doing it out of pure love and heart for Paul. So it's not fair.
How can you say that when the laugh that he's like the grin that he's giving us in this photo looks evil, dude? It looks like an evil grin, bro.
That's just how he looks. He's old and fat now.
Damn. We're never getting that Riddick movie.
No, never. Sorry, never. Unfortunately.
Bitch. Oh my God, Vin Diesel. What the hell? Okay, well, maybe we get a prequel, right? We can get a younger Vin Diesel lookalike, right? Somebody who,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. We never getting that though. Not unless he's gonna have to pass on the torch or something, bro. I don't know.
yeah, and he's fucking gatekeeping the rights like the fucking Hogwarts hound with the three
Right,
heads.
thinking that he can be the only one to do it. My man, you got to be closer to 70 years old. You're not. I'm sorry. You should have given us that forever ago.
This Riddick franchise is gonna die with him. Holy shit.
Right.
I can't do it.
Only when they decide to take it out of his cold dead hands will Universal finally have their a potential cash cow. But we'll see.
I guess we'll be happy with what we got so far, right?
For now.
But I mean, I guess what we're getting pretty soon too. I guess bright side of all this, we're gonna get to see the cliffhanger fulfilled, right? We're gonna actually see, again, hopefully we don't just see them teleport at a table and be like, "Whoa, guys, I'm happy we got out of that shit." Like the plane, Jason Momoa going crazy. Like, hopefully we're all good, right?
Right.
But we'll have to wait and see with that one. Vin Diesel, Fast Forever. That shit's happening in December apparently. Uh, during the holidays, dude. I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna shoot like 2 scenes and probably go home. Give his kids more
Nah.
rock'em sock'em gifts and
I
shit.
don't know, man. They might go. They might just like go through it. Who knows?
You're gonna get a 10-minute video of Vin Diesel in front of a Christmas tree and a fucking Supra and a fucking one of his Dodge Chargers and just be like, "I'm happy about my fans. You guys make this Christmas warm for me."
I'm having another Corona off the top for the marketing.
Oh my! Look, let us know what you guys think. It's happening. It's happening. Moving on though, Josh. Something that might not be happening and it might be in limbo is Bad Boys 5. Apparently, Martin Lawrence is not happy. He is gonna be walking out from this franchise unless money comes to his door, and that's basically the realistic part of all this. And he went on the Wire You Really podcast and had this to say when asked about Bad Boys 5, and he did say that he had one more in him. So this was supposed to be his little swan dive, and he said they didn't fully honor our last deal. Bad Boys 4 grossed around 405 million, but I only received 7 million. Everything else was just talk on paper. Will Smith reportedly took home over 25 million. So I told them that if there's no transparency, I have nothing to do with them anymore.
Damn. So we might not even get him in 5 if there is a fifth one.
I mean, unless Will Smith backs this up and makes this right? Like your co-star, Martin Lawrence, the man that basically made these movies with you since 1998 or 1999, whatever, the 90s. Like these movies have been going on up until 2025 or 2024 when they brought them back or whatever. For 2 movies, mind you. Two more. So it's like this could be the trilogy to bow them out, to basically pass the torch and all that stuff. I would assume Will Smith would, you know, be looking out for his boy and be like, "Hey man, like how is Will Smith taking home 25 mil but your other half is only taking home 7 million?" Granted, I guess you can kind of put, this is show business, this isn't show friends, right? So this is kind of like a Will Smith is a more popular name. He has a brand, even though that brand was kind of slapped into oblivion. And he did the slapping. Like he is the bigger name. He does have the family, he does have the kids and all that stuff. Martin Lawrence is just Martin Lawrence. I mean, what else has he done as of recently besides, coming back for Bad Boys and us being excited for that and then kind of being upset that he refused to put in any work to get into Bad Boy shape to give us some kind of action or, we got that in the second one, but not really in the first one, which we should have probably got that in the first one and a build up on the second one. Really build that momentum to the third one. So I don't know. What do we feel about Martin Lawrence possibly not coming back? And I mean, are you thinking that these salaries are kind of fair? Will Smith at 25, Martin Lawrence at 7.
We know that like main characters are gonna get more than side characters and stuff, but you don't do this to someone who you're supposed to be brothers with, quote unquote. I mean,
Hmm.
you guys share the screen and all that. So I mean, vouch for your boy. And if Will Smith doesn't want to do that, I understand because I mean he's been a real coward lately. So I don't know, bro. It sucks to suck. If we don't get the fifth one, all right. I guess that's fine. I'm fine with four being the last.
But if we get a fifth one and we replace Martin Lawrence, are we upset? Are we
Yeah,
rioting?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
One
replace him
hundred
with
and ten
Kevin
percent.
Hart or something?
110%. No, Reggie. No, they just throw Reggie in there.
Hey,
No, man.
he
I
proved
fucking.
himself. He proved himself. You could do it.
No one wants to see Reggie, bro.
Oh.
Um, yeah, no, this is bad. If we don't get a new one, or if we do get a new one without him, that would suck.
It would kind of suck, because yeah, I honestly thought that we were waiting all this time to basically get them together. So for them to basically get together and move on, I mean, we hear this. I mean, we've been talking about this for a long time. Sidney Prescott wants more money. Margot Robbie wants more money. Martin Lawrence, I gotta say, he doesn't do a lot of stuff. So this is where I'm like, you can't get as much as Will Smith, but he should be getting more than seven, at least 15. You can't do 15 for your boy. Like the 15 million should have been more than that. Should have been like a no-brainer bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. You know them. They're always going to try and lowball somebody. And we got to find out the hard way, like through people like this and through podcasts and stuff, that things aren't all like good behind the scenes, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's show business. It's not show friends. And that's kind of like where we're at when everything kind of crumbles down to like numbers and shit like that in dollars and what we're basically gonna spend to keep you around, and is this franchise even lucrative or even worth the investment if the stars are asking for so much money, right? But I do think that this is kind of like the Bad Boys franchise. You can't have one without the other. So if they do proceed forward without Martin Lawrence, that's probably gonna be the worst performing Bad Boys movie
Probably,
ever.
probably, probably.
You would have to get somebody amazing to basically fill in those shoes, and I don't think there's a lot of people lined up to work with Will Smith right now.
Nope. Because of what he did to Chris Rock.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll have to wait to see with this one, but I'm excited to hopefully get some good news with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith reunited, and hopefully they can work this out. I don't know why Martin Lawrence just can't make a phone call to Will Smith and Will Smith just be like, "Hey, bump up my boy," but you know, we'll have to wait and see. Come on, give it to us. Moving on though, Josh, Pennywise is coming back for a season two of Welcome to Derry. There will not be two showrunners on this season where Brad and Caleb. There will be two. Brad and Caleb Kane will both now be the showrunners for season two, where Andy and Barbara Muschietti are going to be taking a more producer role. They're going to still have their hands in this, but like we said, they have been kind of busy. They have a few things that they're going to be working on for these next couple of years. Brave and the Bold is supposed to be in there as well, so eventually that's probably going to still roll around with that. But they just added a little bit more to their plate with the Welcome to Derry season two. Josh, are we excited for a season two of Pennywise returning?
Oh, yeah. Did you watch the show?
I haven't seen it now.
Really, dude? Way better than I was expecting.
I know I gotta watch it. Probably watch it around like Halloween time when I
Yeah.
do the rewatch for the It movies and
Right, right,
stuff.
right. It's pretty good. I way better. Like I said, way better than what I was expecting. I'm down for this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Andy Muschietti taking a back seat is gonna hurt it or not, but I'm down. You know what I mean? I'm down to clown, but like
You're down to clown?
right.
You should go to jail too. Straight to jail. But yeah, I will get around to this one. I actually was thinking about I was looking at my movies yesterday and I was like, man, I kind of want to rewatch the It movies already. But the Saw movies were kind of calling my name too. So I'm over here. I think I'm starting to get my like horror itch a little too early. It should be coming around in October, but
Yeah.
for some reason it's hitting like crack right now. I don't understand. I'm trying to fight it off, but I'm gonna be getting around to that way, and I will get to Welcome to Derry because I just been waiting to do the rewatches because I want to get every reference that they basically lay out in that season from the movies, but like I said, it's just one of those things where I need that itch, and my itch is coming, so I'm gonna get to it.
All right. Good.
Can't wait.
Good.
Season 2 though, I'm excited for season 2,
I'm
even though I
excited.
haven't even seen it. I've heard a lot of great things from you. I've seen it online. I know a lot of people are really, raving about this. Gave Muschietti a lot of opportunities. Like I said, Brave and the Bold is in the cut, along with other opportunities that apparently are kind of coming at his door after the success of season 1. So season 2 should be really good. I'm assuming season 1 is great. I haven't seen it, but I will get around to it. Josh, does it worry you that Andy Muschietti's not going to be
I
doing
would be
any?
a little worried.
I was about to say because they are producing, but they're not going to be directing.
Yeah, they're not gonna be like
Um,
heavily involved.
they're going to be involved, but they're not as heavy, yeah,
That's
as the
right.
first season.
Yeah. So that could be a problem. I hope it's not like a lightning in the bottle type of thing, and he has to come and basically babysit Brad because, he's not hitting the mark and all that stuff. So
He's
I
too
hope.
busy to do that.
I
That's
hope.
why he.
Yeah, okay, but like he's supposed to be busy with this. He's not supposed to be busy with Batman. That's not what they were saying. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be making a few more horror movies. I was also seeing that David Sandberg is kind of making his way out of the shadows again. So he's going to be making a horror movie as well. So that's going to be interesting. But Welcome to Derry is coming back. Muschietti is involved. The Muschiettis are involved because it's him and his wife. Um, they are going to be involved, but as a producing role, not as heavy as the first season. So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes up. I should have watched all the first season by the second season. If I haven't, Josh, you have full permission to steamroll my house.
Let's go.
All right, let us know what you guys think. Moving on, Josh, live action Clone Wars, possibly in the mix here. Hayden Christensen saying that he is ready to come back into live action, saying that he's down for a live action Clone Wars film. Him and Ewan McGregor kind of signing it off on this, saying Ewan McGregor even saying that he wants to come back and is kind of hoping to have a little bit of a love interest thing with his wife, which who she plays
Yeah.
Hera.
Hera.
You know what I'm saying? That part I wasn't as excited about. I was like, you're Obi-Wan. I mean, maybe you can have something in the time that you're on the desert or something. Maybe there could be something there. I assume that he's been celibate for years. So for me to go into New Hope again and just thinking that he's been getting, Hera Dussy, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just been, hitting that in the desert for a few years, and then he just decides to end it all when he just smiles. I'm not thinking that he's smiling at Luke. I'm thinking that he's thinking of, Hera Dussy, and he just let Darth Vader knock him down. I don't know.
He's just like to Darth Maul. He's like, boy, if these dudes could talk now.
So I feel like there would be wrong implications if there's a love thing happening in the time that
He's
that
supposed to be
Obi-Wan out in
watching.
the sand.
He's supposed to be watching Luke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not fucking, right?
Right.
He's not supposed to be out there getting some. Like he's just leaving duty to get some fucking ass, dude. It's crazy.
He's like, you know what? This kid ain't going nowhere.
He's asleep, right? He with the babysitters. He all right. I'm gonna go. He's in what is it in the Clone Wars in the second one? Is it death sticks? He's I'm gonna go get some death sticks.
Yeah. Him and Hera smoking death sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard about that. I thought that was kind of outlandish. I was like, whoa, there's nothing really that can't really happen. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Only because she ends up with Kanan and Kanan dies, so I would imagine that would put her in a very strange and lonely place too. You know what I mean?
Damn, Kanan getting Obi-Wan sloppy seconds, and then on top of that, they gotta see each other in the afterlife.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, dude, my girl. He's like, yeah, dude, my girl's still out there too. He's like, oh, what's your girl's name?
What's that Usher and R. Kelly song where
We
he's
messing
like,
with the same girl, same girl.
He's
Oh
like,
my
now you
God.
telling me
Not
you
the Star
know?
Wars version.
Man, I know her like a priest knows the word or some shit like that, bro. Oh, I'm down for our live action Clone Wars stuff. I know you aren't because you're tired of all this stuff, but I'd be down. I'd be down to check it
If
out.
not, if they do something in that era, sure. But I just think it's gonna be a little weird to see. It's just that thing where it's like they're young in the Clone Wars when the Clone Wars came out. Now they're gonna look a lot older, and we're just supposed to ignore the fact that they look like this in the Clone Wars in the original Clone Wars movie. And then we're getting them. What is it supposed to be like 2 or 3 years later, and they're in the middle of a mission or something, and he's just like in his 50s.
I know it's hard.
The age to hell.
Right. I know it's hard because it's like they age and stuff, and I think Hayden Christensen has aged way farther than Ewan McGregor. I think at this point, which is insane.
Yeah. Right.
Because dude, if you watch in an Oak Street, and you're kind of like, damn, all right, he looks pretty good there. He still looks like Obi-Wan. But you watch, I mean, you saw the Ahsoka trailer, bro. Hayden Christensen doesn't look like young Anakin anymore. He looks way more aged out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Clone Wars has done a good job at doing that whole thing too. Because I mean, even in Tales of the Jedi, you saw that they were basically wearing what they wore during the second movie.
Yeah.
So I think if they could fill the gaps in by making them look that way and doing their best to de-age them, it could be cool. Or if they get people that look like their animated counterparts, just so they can do that kind of stuff, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, Disney holding on to these people as much as we love them, they gotta know that these people age and they need to find new people at this point.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just keep bringing them back. I mean, I am sick of the Clone Wars stuff in different outlets, obviously in things that are way far away from the Clone Wars, like in Ahsoka and all that stuff. But we get something in that era with a younger cast that makes sense. I would 100% be down. I don't mind recasting, but you can't just be like, oh yeah, he looks like this and then he looks like that.
Right.
It's I don't know, man. It looks like he got some plastic surgery done. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, they already kind of sold us on both of these looks. And so it's cool when we see Hayden Christensen in Clone Wars armor, but we already know that he didn't wear that stuff. So
Right.
Like off-putting.
Just a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. That's one of the ones where I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be a hater and say no to Clone Wars stuff, but I feel like we told all the stories already that we could tell in animation. What are they gonna do? Just do a remake of everything in live action? I don't know. I feel like we've told what we could tell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But then, I mean, I'm always down for them. So hopefully it ends up being good if it's true. But other than that, we gotta do better. We gotta do more stuff. We gotta do more creative stuff.
Reboot the Star Wars universe.
No, not that. Not that. That no.
No.
Because then they're gonna fucking have to do the Clone Wars all over again in some other aspect, and they won't be clones, and they won't be droids. They'll be fucking. They're gonna have to do what Terminator does, where it's like Skynet never lived, and it's this fuck ass off-brand Skynet. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to remember what it was called.
I don't fucking, dude. I don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember either,
I
but-
don't remember Dark Fate like that.
The fact that you even kind of, referenced it is kind of insane.
It's insane because that's the only one that I know that actively did that in recent years. So
Cautionary tales. Didn't Genesis did that too, right? Didn't they do it twice? In Genesis and Dark Fate, didn't they do it?
no, because Genesis was still
Skynet?
Genesis was It was still Skynet, but they were talking about Genesis that was supposed to launch. That was supposed to be how the bombs went off. That was instead of it just being the Skynet taking over nuclear codes, that they were saying that Genesis was gonna be the new age, or whatever. And then Skynet was supposed to still follow up after that. Dark Fate is the only one that introduces something else, and I just can't remember what the fuck they're called.
Yeah, that's something different for a different time. But yeah, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I mean, obviously, anything live action Star Wars is wanted, right? Obviously, Star Wars fans have had it rough. We haven't we've been asking for certain things, but not getting them as I guess as you know, as Star Wars fans want them, right? We get a live action new or what is it like Old Republic show or whatever, and then it's kind of like washed. It's not really what we wanted. They gave us some of the stuff that we wanted, but not the whole show as a whole, right? So it's Star Wars has kind of been on this rocky spot. I don't know if Hayden Christensen and Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe they're used to this whole thing because the prequels were kind of like tossed out the side since the moment they were kind of, conceived back in the day, but now they're kind of cult classics and a lot of the old or the younger kids like them nowadays, but for the most part, I do think that Clone Wars has kind of had its time in the sun and we got to kind of move on from this era and you're 100% right. Hayden Christensen kind of he he's aging like milk. I'm sorry. The CGI kind of tells you that. It kind of sucks.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. But let us know what you guys think. Do you guys want a Clone Wars project with Hayden Christensen? Obi-Wan even said he'd come back. Ewan McGregor said he's down for another one. They actually, a lot of people are actually super excited for uh, what's her face's Ahsoka Tano in season 2. They really liked her in season 1. They're getting her again in season 2. Is that a perfect live action casting as well? I don't know. That's... Let us know.
Wait and see.
All right. Moving on, Josh. Indy Neveretti, apparently choosing to do Marvel's X-Men over Heat 2 and even deciding to basically pass up on multiple seven-figure offers in order to basically play in the Marvel universe as Rogue. We have some people asking for $50 million for a sequel where this young and upcoming star is basically willing to sign her life away to Marvel for the next coming years and even throw away tons of money on the side because she knows basically Marvel's going to be giving her a pretty good bag. I don't know. What do we feel about the indie basically just choosing the Marvel bag for multiple years versus
I mean,
I guess a bag here, a bag there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if she knows that some movies might not work for her, bro. I mean, and she has the choice because she's kind of hot right now. So, like, maybe that's kind of helping her choose and stuff. If she thinks that Marvel is gonna give her a bag for everything that she does from when she's in X-Men to like 10 years down the line, assuming Marvel doesn't go ass up, you know what I mean? That I mean,
that's assuming assuming that they're able to get their footing after Doomsday, right?
Right. She secured herself and her bag. You can't be mad at that. She will be very hard to look at though if X-Men flops and we don't see her again until the next whenever. You know what I mean? That would be a real problem.
Okay. So, I mean, but is this kind of better than going for, the what is it? The acclaims, right? The Oscars, all those things like, playing in roles with actors that, will give her a run for her money, not just MCU actors, right? Cuz let's just be honest. I don't think they pick out top tier talent. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna see a Tom Cruise in MCU. You know what I mean? You're not gonna see Margot Robbie in the MCU. Even though I don't think that she's like the biggest ticket she can act. You know what I'm saying? Like she's really good at that shit. What's his face? I think it's gonna be a while before we get to see the dude from The Bear in there.
Oh fucking. I ain't talking about Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, Jeremy Allen White. Like I feel Adam Driver, he's barely coming around to it. I feel like 65 did that to him, but that's a different story for a different day. Marvel is kind of like they pick out these, somebody who's kind of hot, but whatever, blah blah blah. We talked about her pick last time. Like she is kind of like on the in the stratosphere right now, so she's really a big name to kind of bring in, and it's smart to do that. But like, let's look at one of the movies that she's passing on right now, like Heat 2. That has Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale, right? Like, are we not? Like, would that not have been like game changing in and itself to play with them?
Maybe, or I mean, they think about it themselves. They're coming off the heels of the first one, which had De Niro and Pacino. They could be like looking at a flop, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she just didn't want to gamble there.
Uh, no, Heat Two is. It has to be more like a slam dunk, right? Leonardo DiCaprio and Christian Bale in the title is a that's a ticket sell. That's a sold ticket in and itself.
Right. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying think about it. They're coming off the heels of the first one, which one came out in like what the 90s, and then you have the second one coming up almost 20 years later. I really think she probably just didn't want it because she probably didn't even watch the first one. That's probably it. Or again, if she thinks it might be another flop or whatever, she's gonna try and avoid it. I'm not saying it could be a flop. I'm just saying that that's probably, if I was in her head thinking like that, I'd probably come to that conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the safe route is the best way to put it. Is the Marvel route. That is the safe route. You are going to get a job and you're going to have a steady job. You'll be able to, do a cameo here, do a cameo there. You're going to be on some nerdy dude's Twitter feed and, just be weirded AI nowadays. Like, that's just basically going to be the thing. Like, that's the safe route, right? Like, that's just it. Whereas you get the other route where you pick and choose the movies that you're gonna do. Maybe that one might be hot. Maybe this one may not be hot. But hey, this one has some really good actors in it. You're gonna be able to perform, get a great performance out of it. Possibly get an Oscar out of it. You know what I mean? Who knows? Like that's the other route where it's like your career could possibly launch in a different light with, I guess, more, kind of what The Rock was trying to do with more prestigious films under their belt, right?
Right. Perhaps. Perhaps. But I don't know. I think everyone getting mad at her for this is. I mean, I don't think it's
I
justified.
seen the chatter. I don't think everybody was getting upset. It was just more like you know, I think some people wanted to see the acting chops come out of her, but now we're not going to see that as much because she's going to have to play Rogue, right? And she's going to be Rogue, and then she could potentially be attached to Rogue even when she's not in that role. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds are synonymous,
Right.
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, all that stuff. She might imprint herself at that point, or she might not be able to do that, and it's just gonna be like, oh shoot, she couldn't even do Rogue. Oh, now she's trying her hand over here, blah blah blah. Like I feel like it breeds different conversation if she would have just went, in a different direction. But I do
Yeah.
understand she is the hot ticket. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, obsession," and then all of a sudden she's big and all. We had talked about this last time too. Apparently, she was on Superman and Lois. She kind of gradually did a couple things here and there. She was in Obsession. That movie's jumped up to at the time of recording. I think it's at like 500 million. Like that movie is great right now. Like that movie is like one of the highest grossing original films in years. So it's doing amazing. I think it just basically beat off Sinners because Sinners had that title like a couple years ago. So I mean it's this movie is basically doing what it needs to do. She is the hot ticket. Not saying what she should do with her career. It's just more like, hey, like in my opinion here, okay, this is kind of like the safe cushiony route, and I can't blame her for doing it. Like I
Exactly.
guess
It
that's
feels. It
it's
feels like.
fair.
It feels like. She's just looking out for her own stability in a couple of years. That's fine.
But like, I mean, could have seen her in Heat too.
Um, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No,
We gonna have to see how that one turns out because, everyone could be singing this tune and then all of a sudden when it flops or whatever, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, she dodged a bullet." You know what I mean? Like, you just
that
gonna
is
have to
true.
wait.
That is true. A lot of people be saying be flip flopping that way, but I do think, like I said, acting alongside a Leonardo DiCaprio, acting alongside a Christian Bale, which you're not gonna get that chance anymore in the MCU. Let's just be honest. I think he stepped his foot in there. I think he was the first one to attempt it, right? One of these A list stars, right? Like they were just like, okay, well, I'll do Gore the God Butcher. Him over here fucking giving his all, trying his best. Like I'd be embarrassed watching that movie back and I was him because I'd be like, dude, I'm over here giving my fucking damn near all, bro. And this is the shit that you sprinkle around me? Like this is insane. So I mean, that's just kind of like my thing.
Fucking Taika.
Insane, right? Insane. So I don't think we're gonna be getting any of those interactions with any like crazy grade A stars. And we got to be honest too, the MCU is getting a shortage of actors.
Well, yeah, I mean they're picking out new ones, so that's kind of how it works.
We'll have to wait and see. But it's interesting to see that she bounced out on a few other roles just to kind of go for this Marvel role. We have to see if it's gonna pan out for her. Obviously, she's not gonna really kick into this whole grand story timeline until possibly Secret Wars, possibly after Secret Wars. My money's on Secret Wars. I'm hoping Secret Wars, and then maybe I've been seeing some theories that somebody was like, oh, in Secret Wars she's gonna basically touch on Captain Marvel.
I don't know. Just kind of wait and see.
Have to wait and see. Moving on, Josh. Yahya Abdul Mateen II has some things to say. Okay, first of all, we're gonna hear this man out, but this is the same man, okay, crying about Marvel stuff or whatever right now. But this was the same man a couple years ago that was saying that DC and playing Black Manta is fucking clown work and blah blah blah. But Yahya Abdul Mateen II is now coming out on the Marvel side saying that optics are obvious after Wonder Man and Blade were canceled. If Disney does not want those kind of optics attached to them, they need to step in and do something immediately. Immediately. Saying that the viewership was there for a second season of Wonder Man, but Disney still opted to cancel it. Even the director had came out and said, or the creator had came out and said that it was just something that they all decided they just did not want to do. That it wasn't just a Disney thing. That apparently he was in the writers' room, that everything was going down, but they basically pulled the plug. So I don't know if this is kind of like a I don't know. What does this read as to you, Josh? What are we thinking?
I mean, okay, we know how it looks. I kind of don't agree with this notion that Kevin Feige might be racist or the MCU might be racist, whatever. I don't know if I agree with that kind of stuff.
We also didn't get Armor Wars.
Well, yeah, but I mean, okay, but is it because of this, or is it because that shit just didn't pan out creatively?
It's so funny that those are the kind of movies that just don't pan out.
I mean, maybe because they're the ones that wanted to push. The only one that I can probably give merit to is Wonder Man. If it's as high and as praised that they say, and they canned it, maybe. Okay, maybe. Because they greenlit a season 2. Why would you greenlight a season 2 if you were planning on canning it? That doesn't make any sense. It seems like now, because of the shift of which they are moving, a lot of these shows aren't getting renewals or whatever. They're stopping shows in general. They're not going to have any loose ends like this. And that includes Armor Wars, which never really got off the ground, unfortunately. Blade, which had too many complications in it. They lost a director. They lost writers. Mahershala Ali was kind of pushing back against their sayings and leadership because he wanted to make good shit. Well, what people see as racism, I simply see as, no, it's got to be creative because a lot of them, that's what they run into. It's not just this. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this. It looks bad from a certain angle. He's right. There are certain optics on them that shouldn't be on them, but at the same time, I'm looking at it as well. A lot of these things feel like creative decisions.
I feel like his like I said, I feel like this is just more like, oh, I'm not getting work. I
Yeah, right.
I do think that it's apples and oranges when it comes down to, a TV show versus obviously a movie, because Yaya is in the TV show and all that stuff. Um, the only thing I could say is that if it's not true, right, then the optics is there, right, and Yaya is not right, or not wrong. He's right about that. That there is a weird optic towards it, because why do you cancel Armored Wars? Why do you cancel Blade? Why can't you crack those movies? You know what I mean? Why can't you crack a season two of this one? I mean, it was made, so you can't technically say it wasn't made, but there is a thing saying like, okay, so why did you cancel it if it did good anyways, right? But Daredevil gets what, a third season going on, possibly getting a fourth season, even when like season one was kind of like retooled and it still came out kind of like mid to some people. So it's like, I don't know. The, Either the optic is true, or my head goes to Kevin Feige and Disney are probably uncomfortable to do black led projects. And it's unfortunate to say it, but it just seems like they're scared, right? They tried it with, like I said, Ironheart. That was one where it was kind of like completely demolished and dismantled. Not only was, it was a black led character, but also a female led character, right? So it's like, what happened with that one? What creatively speaking, when it came down to what was being put down and how it was made, like what happened with that show, and why couldn't you make it universal for everybody, right? Like why, like it, and not even that, not a lot of people liked it. So either they just can't do, like I said, black led characters, shows, movies, or whatever, um, or they just, this is the or the optic is right, where it's like they just do it because they rather not touch it, they rather not deal with it, right? Like the only person they seem to trust with doing that kind of project is Ryan Coogler, and that's for Black Panther. So I'm like, I don't know.
Exactly. So I mean, how can they have that optic if Black Panther's getting away with it just fine? I think these are all just things that couldn't get off the ground and stuff. Ironheart, I think a lot of people knew the reaction they had to her in Black Panther 2, and them kind of giving her that spotlight or whatever to try and establish her, and then also them writing her and disrespecting Stark, knowing that he built the whole thing for them or whatever. I think that kind of also plays a part, that people didn't want to watch this, because how are you going to shit on them, especially when the character in the comics isn't really like that. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
I mean, you don't have to agree with what I think, but like, do you see my side where I say there's like kind of like those two sides where either they just can't write those characters at all, or the optic is kind of true, unless there's a third lane that you can think of.
I just think the third lane is the creative differences. Like none of these things were being prioritized, and now their prioritization isn't TV shows anymore, so they're skirting away. I think Daredevil's only sticking around because people like it. It's getting what needs to be done, and they're probably going to use that to do more street
But
level
apparently
stuff.
people liked Wonder Man too.
Again, in a place where they fucking where they're
But
at
it's
right now,
crazy that,
are greenlighting it.
it's kind of crazy that, Daredevil kind of gets to stick around.
Green. Daredevil is getting
Green Daredevil.
Daredevil is only getting that stuff because they film fast. As soon as they wrap a season, they're already on to the next thing.
I
If
don't
they,
see a Wonder Man taking too long to make.
I mean, it kind of did. If that were the case, they would have started filming already. They had a script. What took them so long to get started?
No, they were in a writer's room. They said they didn't get the green light until later on down the road, and then they got the. That's what the director was saying. Then he was in the writer's room, and they wrote in there for like a couple days, maybe a week, and then they pulled the plug.
Oh, well, see, then they just didn't hit the ground running. Then that's the way it works.
This is gonna be an interesting story to crack. This is gonna be an interesting one. Um, yeah.
You just gonna have to wait and see. Wait and see.
Mm. So I guess, and just to kind of get his resolution. So Yaya's resolution to this, to basically get all this fixed, is this is what he has to say. It says it should be a priority to change that narrative and to do what it takes to responsibly change that narrative with quality stories and quality resources. The actor continued. I felt that our show did have quality story, did have quality resources, did have quality actors and people, and did produce quality results that the viewers responded to positively, that the voters responded to positively. So our shows does deserve some study and some real hard information about why a show like this did not continue forward, because it had all of the ingredients that one would want in a show. Um, yeah, that's basically it.
Hmm.
So you think do we agree with him that it be Marvel and Disney's prior should it be it's their priority to change that narrative?
If there were such a narrative, yes. Uh, but as far as I'm sure, as far as they know, bro, they don't see anything like that. They probably see it that way, where it's just like, oh well, we couldn't get it off the ground, man. There was no creative way to handle this kind of stuff. So, he feels bad for losing Blade. I don't know if he feel bad if he feels bad for Wonder Man, but he feels bad
Again,
about Blade.
let's just say what is his name? Marshall Ali said, right? Marvel has billions of dollars, and if they wanted to do it, they would have done it, right? That's what he said about the Blade movie. They would have done it. They wanted to do it, they would have done it. They wanted to do a Wonder Man season 2, they would have done it, but they don't want to do it. They wanted to make more shows, they would have done it. They don't want to do it. If they want to make a Daredevil, fine, they want to do it. But why not Wonder Man 2? It was doing good. You know what I mean? That's just the question. And like I said, it's just that's the optics of it, right? That's just what he's saying. And I mean, I guess he has a point to kind of raise the question. Again, a little bit of, a little funny when a couple years ago you were talking about, like I said, Black Manta being clown work and whatever, and it's easy, and yeah. Now we're here at this day and age, and we're over here begging for season 2 of your clown work uh to basically come out. Now I know he wasn't talking about Black Manta specifically, but he was saying superhero work, if I remember correctly, in his little interview he did back in, like, what, I think it was like 2023 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that, people change their minds. But it's interesting to see you going to cry about a Wonder Man season 2 after saying stuff like that, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, on top of that, Kang also got the fucking can pretty quick as well.
That's different. That's different.
I mean, sure. But then he also made the argument too of like how RDJ was able to kind of like come back from everything that he was doing. And I could kind of have that sympathy and be like, hey man, yeah, there's different circumstances. He was on drugs and whatever and blah blah blah. Yeah, he had some things, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. That's all different road stuff. I do think that we do need. There needs to be a little bit of an investigative work on this one for sure. Like, why did we really pull the plug on this one?
Right. They just gotta be a little bit more transparent.
Yeah, because why would you greenlight a season 2 and then say no to a season 2?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No,
Um,
you're right.
But let us know what you guys think. Yaya could be spitting could be spitting some real shit, or maybe he just wants maybe his way of of wanting Marvel to prioritize the change is to greenlight Wonder Man season 2 again or something. Maybe get him his work back and he'll be happy as a clam and not worry about Blade being canceled and whatnot. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see though. Moving on. Josh, Kaylee Spaney apparently is still in talks with Marvel, though she lost out or possibly passed up on Rogue. Apparently there's rumors going around saying that Indy did not get an offer until possibly a few hours up until that D23 Expo where they basically unveiled everything. So they were probably neck and neck trying to get one of them to play Rogue all up until the very last moment where Kaylee Spaney said, you know what, nope, I'm out. But that her, you know, maybe she said I'm out because I have something better. Apparently, she's waiting for an insane Marvel role. What kind of role could we be expected to see Kaylee Spaney in if she basically, Rogue is the one in the comics that, and I know this because everybody does not shut the fuck up about it, is the one who basically steals Captain Marvel's uh, powers and becomes the new, basically superpowered Rogue and whatnot and blah blah blah. And I know a lot of people are saying that shit because they basically want what's her face out of the Marvel universe, um, Brie Larson. But I look, guys, like this isn't the way to go about it. All right, like I understand, but the story needs to make sense. And if that's the way the story goes, I understand. But we don't beg on the downfall of other actors or characters to fulfill this one. Okay, like it's just not like it's just a little too hard rooting for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like so natural. So I don't know. What kind of role do you think Kaylee Spaney could be playing? And I mean, did she miss out on possibly the biggest role in the X Men universe? I guess.
Uh, I don't know. I think it's still time to tell. Um, maybe they went with uh, Indy because she's a bigger name right now, and she probably hasn't done anything. She was the one in Alien Earth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe
Kaylee
then,
Spaney.
yeah, maybe no one saw that one. Unfortunately, I mean, I did.
No, she was in Alien Romulus.
Oh, Romulus.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything other than Romulus. So maybe she
Yeah, I'm
just
trying to remember. Apparently, she was a hot name.
yeah. But I mean,
I
maybe she just died out because Romulus was her only shot and it just didn't take off. Oh, she was in Civil War.
yeah, she was the other girl that was trying to learn and shit. Priscilla. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently she was like a hot ticket. Civil War. Oh, she was in Beef. Apparently Beef was really good. Wake up.
Bad Times
Yeah,
at El
no.
Royale.
Vice.
Yeah. So I mean, I think a lot of people were saying she could be Kitty Pryde. That could be cool. I could probably see that.
Yeah, I like to think about it now. I mean, only because as of recently, she was really good in Alien Romulus. Don't get me wrong, but that time has passed. It's been a couple years. Apparently, that movie is not going to be getting off the ground anytime soon. Indy is basically the one that you would want to pursue for a rogue. A Kitty Pride on her. I mean, sure, I'd see a Kitty Pride.
She's the only one that I can really like think of. If she wants to be an X-Men. Um, yeah, no, I couldn't say. I couldn't really tell. I couldn't really tell you anyone else. Unless they do like a couple of no names, just so they could fucking get started. We already got our Storm.
But
We
I
don't
don't
have a
think
Storm. We have a Jean Grey. We have a Rogue.
I don't feel like Kitty Pride is like an insane role though.
She could be Psylocke.
No,
No. Okay.
you know, She don't look like that.
All right, man. All right. Let me see. Don't know that one. Domino. She could be Domino. There's Surge.
We're thinking about like a lame X-Men. What I'm talking about, because they said an insane role. They're saying that, like it says here, an insane, quote unquote, insane role. According to Night Edge Media, who's been a bit on a roll with Scoops lately, Spaney is still speaking with Marvel Studios about appearing in a smaller character. It's a smaller character with a potential for an expanded role in future films.
Kitty Pryde.
So Kitty Pryde?
That's Kitty Pryde. In the comics, she starts off on the X-Men. She grows up. She ends up running the school at one point. She ends up going into the Guardians of the Galaxy. I could see her being Kitty Pryde.
And she looks like a Kitty Pryde. Like, that's the only one that I can think of, like, off rip. Like, if you look at her, you're just like, that's Kitty Pryde. It has to be Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
I'd be down for it. I don't know how insane that is for X-Men, especially because... Never mind, I'm not gonna say that joke. Only because we did not see much of her in the original one. The only cool thing that we saw was the fucking probably in the Last Stand with Juggernaut. That was pretty cool.
What?
On the Juggernaut, bitch.
Well, yeah. But she was cool in fucking X-Men Days of Future Past.
I mean, all she did was
right, but she killed the hell out of it.
And then when she got tired, she was like,
right.
I mean, she didn't have like a big role like I thought, like in like the Last Stand and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, but in the comics, she gets crazy. So maybe that I can see that.
You ever see the Rogue cut?
I have not.
Okay.
That's
interesting.
That's it. All right.
That's interesting. I was just curious. But yeah, Kaylee Spaney possibly. I mean, it sounds like Kitty Pryde is the only one that could possibly be it. But I mean, if anybody has any other thoughts of who Kaylee Spaney could possibly be playing, I really can't think of anything else. She is Kitty Pryde, possibly. Like that is who she is. Either that or Rogue. I could have seen her do Rogue, but Rogue is gone.
Right.
So she missed out.
A little bit. And that's just because her name isn't that big anymore.
Should have struck what the iron was hot. Let us know what you guys think, though. X-Men is gearing up. We're going to be getting some pretty good X-Men stuff pretty soon. Hopefully we get some little bit more news on like what the X-Men reboot movie is going to basically be about. I just don't want to do the whole Phoenix thing again. Like, I know eventually we're going to get to that point, but can we let it breathe? Let me just give it a second. You know what I mean? Oh, and bring Anna Taylor-Joy back. Bring her back too, please. Bring her back as that whoever she played Magic or something like that. Yeah, but bring her back. That'd be cool. I'd appreciate that a lot. Thank you, Marvel. Moving on though, James Gunn, just to kind of talk about him a little bit here. Apparently, he's already kind of heading out the door, and he knows it. According to some insiders, apparently James Gunn is already writing his DC farewell paper. Even getting a few things greenlit on his way out as well. Not just him though, a few executives as well over there on that side of WBD are going to be let go once Paramount takes control of, everything, right? Once that goes through, if that ever goes through, it sounds like, James Gunn, Peter Safran, they're all out. They're basically done. According to insiders here, it says that James Gunn letters have already been written, saying that James Gunn has sits on a list of people that are basically going to be going, saying that he basically is making Man of Tomorrow his last film for DC Studios, basically saying that his contract's going to be up. He's not basically getting fired, that he's just basically going to be gone. He's gonna apparently a lot of people over there at WBD are going to be let off the hook with just like, oh, our contracts are basically up, right? So James Gunn is gonna bow out with Man of Tomorrow. He did get a couple things off the ground though, like we did talk about, which we're gonna talk about his description of it. But the People versus Gorilla Grodd is gonna be the mockumentary style Jimmy Olsen show that we're gonna be getting. And like I said, we do have a description from James Gunn himself. It's gonna be an 8 episode single season order. And that sounds like it's going to be the last thing he's been able to basically dribble out of DC Studios until Paramount basically takes over. Another update says that the Ellisons are going all in on the Batman and Reeves universe with Pattinson, and also wanting to Gal Gadot to come back for Wonder Woman 3 when everything kind of comes in. What are we thinking so far about James Gunn basically, having his swan song kind of written out for Man of Tomorrow, framing that as his farewell and love letter to his fans, choosing to return to his true passion of writing and directing?
Well, you had a good run, bro. Mean, well, was it a good run? You had a run. Sorry. I don't know, bro.
It was a run, was it not?
Shit, bro. I mean, good luck on your next thing, bro. If he has pool, his fans will follow him, right? That's what they were saying. That's how it works, whatever. So, I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure no one will get tired of his Guardians of the Galaxy formulas or Peacemaker like formulas. I'm sure everyone will be all right.
Josh, why are you being so nice right now, bro? We just got confirmation, and I repeat, we just got confirmation that James Gunn has already started bowing the fuck out. Okay, this man is on borrowed time at this point. Let me just tell you something. This man he is going onto the Man of Tomorrow set knowing that this is his last fucking job. Do you know what happens when let me just paint you a picture, okay? You're working at a job, okay? You're working there. You worked your ass off for years. Okay, you finally got a better offer, or you're getting laid off. You got 2 weeks left. Okay, no, better yet, you're getting laid off. Okay, you've been there for a little bit. You've been trying to do your best, whatever, blah blah. You're getting laid off. Those last 2 weeks, are you giving your 110%?
No.
They're gonna fire your ass. You're gonna give a 50%?
No.
You're gonna get 20%?
No. My feet are gonna be up on the desk.
You're gonna do as much as you need to do, especially. I mean, obviously James Gunn just not gonna have his feet on the desk, especially if he's directing and all that stuff. But he will do his best and the bare minimum to basically push this movie out, and then
he's out. He'll basically be like Walter Hamada when Black Adam was coming out.
Yeah. So, I want to just do a little jig and a dance for his short tenure as DC Studios CEO. All that hot shit he was talking, everything he was doing, that hooting and hollering on Twitter, on Threads. Hey, I got smoke for that. That fat motherfucker on Peacemaker 2. What's his name? Fucking Hoagie Hodge, whatever his name is.
Right.
I don't know his name. Fucking that guy too. Oh, how's that boycott coming? How's your season 3 coming, buddy? Tell me. When are we gonna see you in another DC project, Holmes? Never. Look, dude. I'm sick and tired of this whole crew. I'm sick and tired of James Gunn and his wife. I'm tired of fucking Nathan Fillion and the stupid bowl cut. David Cornsweet, look, dude, you got fucking sucked up in the whirlwind. Look, I apologize. Millie Alcock too. You got sucked up in the whirlwind. Look, dude, it's a minefield. You guys didn't avoid it. You guys were fucking foaming at the mouth, thinking that this guy was gonna make you a fucking star. David Cornsweet should have fucking clicked it together when he had an argument about that whole last scene of Superman and shit like that. He should have clicked it together and said, "This motherfucker had no idea what he's doing. I am not re-signing that contract for another DC Studios movie," and he did it anyways. It fucking sucks, dude. It fucking sucks to see. But James Gunn, fuck you, dude. I'm tired of this guy, and I'm happy that he's gone. I had hopes in the beginning. I thought he was gonna do something different. Gods and Monsters, Authority, Superman. I thought we were gonna get like a little bit like that one animated movie that we wound up getting with Owlman and blah 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 blah, like multiversal stuff. Like multiverse was played out, but I was like, okay, if he could do something like this and he could do it right, that'd be pretty cool or whatever. We ain't get nothing close to that shit. Absolutely 0 inches towards that motherfucker. Like there's no way in hell that this guy got the key. Like I don't know what he told David Zaslav, but he lied. Okay, I go to a mechanic shop and they say, "Do you have any experience working on cars?" Yes, tons, plenty. I've t- I took out the kabobulator and I replaced it myself. I did the doodad and I flicked it around and I blew on the cartridge and I stuck it back in. Yes, and yes, that's what happened. And then
Mhm.
Zaslav was like, "Look, dude, you're fucking in.
Yeah, bro.
You got the job."
I mean,
I'm
shit,
excited.
bro.
He's gone. It's
Finally,
good.
finally. Uh, his slate was ass. He couldn't get half of it on the ground because they knew exactly what was gonna happen. Finally, the time has come to things get over. I mean, he's talking about fucking. He's talking about the fucking Jimmy Olsen show. Like, all right, bro, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And that's just kind of like my thing too. And I want to put this out here because we're gonna talk about what he, um, this a mockumentary. Uh, Let me just tell you something. This whole mockumentary thing, maybe his last, like his last DC project altogether, right? This is the biggest contradiction, like the biggest contradiction he has had, and it's all on his last moments as DC Studios head. And like, first, we're not gonna do anything until the script is right, and we're basically ready to go ahead and film. Blah blah blah, blah, right? Where the fuck did the People versus Gorilla Grodd come from? Nowhere. Like he did that with Supergirl already, but look, that's just basically that right there, right? You're not gonna see. You're basically not gonna see things just being thrown out there. You're not gonna be like, oh, like you have to watch the show or you have to watch the show and it's just whatever, blah blah. Like it just shows that you want. Granted, this is just a show that you could just watch if you want to, but if this is a DC Studios all together and it's supposed to connect from TV to movies and blah blah blah, blah and this is the last thing you're able to basically shove out of your fucking DC Studios, it's like this is literally the thing that you said that you would not do in the beginning of your tenure as DC Studios head. I don't understand why you would do this. But the People versus Grodd will be his final project. I know a lot of people are like Man of Tomorrow, but he did try to squeeze this one out, and he did. He tried to do Booster Gold and stuff. We seen that trying to break out and break through. It got covered up quick. Apparently the Ellisons worked as fast as they could, and only got to what they got to. So I don't know.
Shame, shame. I guess shame. This was one of the first ones they came up with. This is ridiculous. They should have saw this and immediately went, "Well, get the fuck out of my office." Uh, I have no words for this. I mean, I know I'm not watching. I'm sorry. This is just one where I don't give a fuck about half these people. They didn't make me care about them at all in the fucking thing. I don't even think Johnny Tuchero, or whoever the fuck his name is that funny. Like, no, you're not gonna sell me on this. And with no Wonder Woman, no fucking Superman or Lois, you're not selling me on this bullshit, bro. I don't give a fuck about his side characters like that. No. If they're in a Superman project, sure, you're alright, alright. But a show without him, get the fuck out of here. No.
Well, it would be interesting if we would have seen half of these people, like if Gorilla Grodd was in a Flash movie, and then he kind of got spun off into a TV show, and
Why do we give a
it
fuck
makes
that?
sense because the most popular characters in the background of Superman are the Daily Planet cast because they kind of were doing their thing and kind of keeping people entertained while Superman was off doing whatever, blah blah blah. But everybody hated the little subplot on Superman. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know where this came from, and exactly what you said. And I got to read this for the people, but it says, "The People versus Gorilla Grodd, the new show from DC Studios, is coming to HBO Max. Our first foray or foray into the true crime genre from the creators of The American Vandal, starring Skylar Ginsondo as Jimmy Olsen, Jimmy Tantaro as Gorilla Grodd, Beck Bennett as Steve Lombard, Michael Hoover as Cat Grant, Michaela Hoover as Cat Grant, Wendell Pierce as Perry White. Additional cast includes Mary Holland, Eduardo Franco, Dan Perrault, and Ariana Moyade. Along with Lanterns, this was one of the shows Peter and I pitched to WBD before we came on board. With Tony and Dan at the helm, it's something truly special. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is this kind of like a response too, in a way, for James Gunn? Is a subtle. You remember what we talked about the other day, right? When Lanterns was being released?
Right.
They try to distance themselves from James Gunn, saying that Lanterns was originally planned from other people before James Gunn came and pulled them into the DCU. That this was supposed to be something completely different. But James Gunn literally tweeted this out, and it's still on his Twitter right now at the time of recording because I'm reading it off his Twitter. It says here, once again, along with Lanterns, this is one of the shows Peter and I pitched to WBD before we came on board.
Yeah.
So Lanterns was already planned with James Gunn. So they lied.
They did, indeed.
And when James Gunn came out to clear that up, which I totally don't see this coming to bite him in the ass from, the tabloids and everything that have already kind of shot his Supergirl down to shit, right? Basically exposed him for everything. But maybe this is him lashing out and kind of getting his little payback. And only people like us who listen to him and talk about his stuff and keep this on our mind multiple times would put this together. Maybe the people that push out the shit are gonna realize it as well. But like, this is just such a weird, slick diss. It's kind of weird.
Very weird. I mean, who cares though? If he really is out on his way, I don't know. Who cares?
Again, I knew James Gunn fucking had a hand in it too, because you're not gonna tell me that an alien's gonna be like, I'm gonna blow up and start ticking. Fuck you.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Indeed.
That's crazy.
Man, I mean, who cares about this show, bro? I don't know who baited him into this. I mean, I think I know who baited him into this, but the DC fans being like, oh, you guys need to ease up off James Gunn and for giving us a Jimmy Olsen show, whatever. It's your guys' fault for making them think that he's as important as he is to be running a show like this. Who gives a fuck if Gorilla Grodd murdered his father or not? Is who gives a fuck? Why does that matter? Who is that not like their own ape shit like doing what? I don't know. I don't care. They're trying to make me care about stuff I don't care about. I don't care. How am I supposed to care about a womanizer like sexist? I don't know if I can fuck with that. I don't know. That's my problem.
It's not even that. I mean, Perry White, who the fuck cares? He's not as interesting. He's not like a fucking Lawrence Fishburne where they can hold the show or anything like that. This dude's from Saturday Night Live. I think she's from Saturday Night Live. This is Cat Grant. Apparently, there's rumors saying that this guy is supposed to, Eduardo Franco, I think that's his name, is supposed to be playing Maneater.
Who the fuck is that?
You're a DC guy. You should know.
Not if they're fucking randos, no. James Gunn's encyclopedia apparently runs deep. I don't know.
Maneater. Apparently, it's not this one though. It's a different one, a goofy one. Apparently, it eats like Matter Eater lad. This guy, Matter Eater. That's who it is.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is, dude. I don't.
You never heard of it. Apparently, he's supposed to be playing Matter Eater. So we're gonna still get a bunch of these low, bottom of the barrel, bag DC, and I'm glad somebody pulled this up because Jimmy Olsen is not on this Gods and Monsters list. I don't even know how they would even make it on a Gods and Monsters list with a DC show led by Jimmy Olsen. Like, is he a god? Is he a monster? Is he any of those things?
Nope. He's just a regular dude.
Again, nobody cares, and no, again, nobody knows about no Matter Eater. Nobody knows any of these characters. If you say you're a fan of Jimmy Olsen, well, here you go. This is your last piece of pie. I'm happy that the two of you are pleased, and you guys can look at each other and have a blast when you watch Jimmy Olsen together. But I don't even have any high hopes for what the Gorilla Grodd's gonna look like, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let us know what you guys think, though. James Gunn is on his way out. Fuck yes for the people in the back, but for the people that do not agree with us, that are like, hey, fuck you. We're a gunner, and we're gonna fucking ride out at dawn for your ass. Okay, look, dude. Look. James Gunn did this to himself. Again, there is no fucking Jimmy Olsen thing on this list. There's no Supergirl thing on this list, okay? Wallace should have been put out a long time ago. There should have been an authority. Where is Batman? No Batman. Marvel is throwing out Spider-Man. Okay, this is a Sony movie. Doomsday's around the corner. Let's just say that one's gonna do good because of all the characters that are in there. Marvel's fucking doing shit. DC is fighting for its life. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Don't come at me. Let us know what you guys think, though. Moving on. Josh, we have two trailers. The last photograph teaser trailer, okay, from Zack Snyder. We're supposed to get a full-length trailer pretty soon. Hopefully this week or by next week. But I thought we'd take a peek at his new venture very, very quickly. I've been waiting to see a trailer for this ever since he's been kind of posting about it on his Instagram and all that stuff. So I'm hoping this is a good teaser trailer that's going to get me excited for the real trailer. But I don't know. What are we thinking about the last photograph? Like, were you excited for this film when he even announced it?
Yeah, I mean, I think his first theatrical release in a while is gonna be something to behold for sure. So I'm hoping the teaser at least sparks some interest enough for a real trailer. Yeah, you know that's how these work now. So let's hope it works.
Right. You said that it's true. The first theatrical release in what, like, since what, BVS?
Yeah, almost 10 years.
That's about 10 years, huh? That is 10 years because it came out in 2016.
Yeah.
But not his only movie that he's made.
No,
He's
of course not.
obviously made like Rebel Moon and all that stuff. And I mean, I did like. Oh, he did also do Twilight of the Gods. That was
Right.
another one as well. But I did like the zombie movie. The Rebel Moon extended cuts is still something I still got to get around to. The other ones were kind of dog shit, but I kind of knew what they were gonna be because they're gonna butcher it or whatever. One day, hopefully, I'll garner the courage for the Rebel Moon extended cuts. But for now, I'm hoping that this last photograph movie is gonna be great. And obviously, there's rumors about him coming back to DC and blah blah blah. Blah, but regardless of all that, I'm just hoping that we get another great film from Zack Snyder himself. He's just a great filmmaker. So let's check out this teaser, Josh, and hopefully it hypes us up as it should.
That looks intense.
That was, yeah, a little intense. I do like that little last video. This is what he kind of put up on his Instagram, was this image itself. Don't know what the movie's about. A little intense. Gotta say, this did not move the needle for me, not one bit. I don't think I'm disinterested in the movie any less, but I'm not any more excited about it. It was just a lot of like
Right.
epic music with
We
a
need
bunch
we
of
need a
like
real
flash
trailer.
cuts. Right. Didn't move you either.
No, I mean, cool that we're getting some of the stuff. Like I said, this shot looks in particular really well. Very intense stuff, but yeah, I need a real trailer that hopefully captures it the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. And that's all I can leave it as because yeah, I need a real trailer. I thought we were gonna get more than this. Unfortunately, as a Zack Snyder fan, I was not pleased. Zack Snyder, do better with your teaser trailers, please, because this was kind of what the fuck was this?
Mm. Yeah, basically.
No words, no nothing, no like.
Yeah, no, crazy stuff.
Man, I don't know. All right. Well, hopefully we get a trailer soon and we can rectify this because this was and I was hoping that we were gonna basically rave about this. Now we just gotta kind of slide to the side. Let us know what you guys think. The Last Photograph teaser trailer is out right now, and check that out and do with that information what you will. Moving on, Josh. Maybe this will end us off on a good note. This is our last trailer for this episode. Wildwood coming from Lakia Studios, and if you don't know who Lakia Studios is, you should. They made Coraline, and that's all I need to say. They made Coraline. They are supposed to be coming out with more films. They basically made their own studio, like built their own studio. So they're supposed to be making multiple films and hopefully creating great, wonderful moments like Coraline. Maybe we get a Coraline Part 2 down the road if this basically does well. But Wildwood, Josh, are you excited for any um, I guess Lakia Studios things, obviously, kind of like Avatar Studios. You start off with one project like Coraline. Avatar Studios started off with Avatar and Korra and all that stuff, and they're building off that right now. Lakia Studios is kind of like in that building phase. Are we excited for more
Yeah,
like Coraline esque films?
yeah. I think that animation style can go a long way. I think that sounds pretty cool. I thought they were the same ones. I also did that Kobo one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kobo?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Can't remember what it's called.
Wildwood. No, I'm assuming they
No?
only did Coraline. Yeah.
No, they did. Okay, they did Coraline, Paranorman, Box Trolls. Oh, they did Kubo and the Two Strings. That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, Kubo and the Two Strings.
That's
Okay,
the
cool.
one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Missing
Yeah,
Link.
this is cool. They did Paranorman, the Box Trolls, Wildwood. The Missing Link. That one had I think that one had Hugh Jackman.
I don't think I've ever seen. I've seen it, but I've never seen it. You know what I'm saying?
I know
Same
what
thing
you're
with Kubo and the Two Strings. Seen it, but never seen it. Box Trolls. Seen it, but never seen it. I've watched Paranorman. That one's not a bad movie. I like that movie. Coraline. So, I've seen 2 of the Lakia movies.
Okay.
So hopefully this one makes me a fan. And like I said, I've been waiting for a Coraline sequel. Gotta get that today rather than later. But hopefully this does better. And Lakia Studios gets on my radar a little bit more because, yeah, dude, the fact that Coraline is kind of like the only one they're known for kind of sucks.
Okay, man. All right.
Am I wrong? I mean, okay, well, you know him from Kubo, so that's not too bad. But you didn't even know the name. So
I was close.
we had a soul search a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So let's just jump into this. Let's see if this makes us a fan, and hopefully we get another Lakia movie on our list.
They told me what happened to you. To your son. Is it true? Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. Wish that I could stay forever. a game made for everyone, and love is the prize.
The woods have become a savage place.
They took my brother. Please, I need your help.
So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time finding myself, and I didn't know I was loved. I promised I'd take care of him.
I will tear apart this forest and bring back what it took from me.
Wake me up when it's all over.
I see it in you. You're not the kind to give up.
Didn't know I was lost.
Okay. I saw, I think I saw the teaser trailer of this in theaters.
Okay.
So this looks pretty
And
good.
you paid it no mind. You paid it.
Well, I
no
remember
mind.
it being. I mean, I was kind of like, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that this was gonna be like a whole big thing. That was pretty nice. I like that.
The music really was a nice touch. Can't even lie.
Yeah, Avicii, rest in peace.
hmm I'm down for it. The stop motion has come a long way from Lakia Studios from 2009. Like, if you just think about my brain, like going from Coraline, not really knowing too much, Paranorman, really knowing too much, and then like now jumping to
Yeah,
what now I'm realizing is like evolution, like about over 10 years of evolution is like, damn, this looks like some great stop motion to the point where it's like, it seems like it's animated, but you could tell like there is like a bit of stop motion involved. I don't know if there's like actual stop motion involved or if it's all animation. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Looks really good, though.
I'm pretty sure it's a bit of both. Maybe they find a way to blend both of them. I don't know.
Maybe. Looks good though.
It does look
I'd be
really
down.
good. Yeah.
October.
Let's
The
go.
Lakia
October.
Studios movie on your radar, sir?
Absolutely.
And then after that, you gotta watch Whalefall. You gotta watch Whalefall right after that. If you remember that movie. I think it's
No.
coming out around the same
I'm not
time.
watching that. No.
No?
Ridiculous.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think. Check out the trailer. Wildwood is on YouTube right now. With that being said, though, that's going to be our last episode or last topic for this episode. Any topics that we should be talking about, any movies you want us to be reviewing, TV shows. Lanterns is going to be coming out pretty soon at the time of recording tonight, so we're going to be getting caught up on that. We have an episode out for the, what is it called? The pilot episode
the
for
first
Lanterns
episode.
out right now as well. So go check that out. Josh, let them know where they can talk to us and give us suggestions. Want to hear the voice of one of these episodes? Yeah. Go on.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. Post on episodes are up. You can hit us up there for news and movies you want us to cover. Buzzsprout, like the social I just gave you. It's like a Patreon. You subscribe, you help the show grow. Really appreciate it. Let's do us anywhere you get your podcast at FilmBros Podcast, Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts. Again, wherever you get your podcast. Be part of the conversation. Twitch at FilmBros Podcast. And when all said and done, subscribe to YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.
Ah.